It's that time again. Time for moms to start yelling at how violent video games are. The media to depict games for all the violence that's in the world, for all the shootings and robbings that happen. It's time for little kids to get carded at GameStop. Yes, that means Grand Theft Auto 5 is finally here. The newest game in a very long running series that actually started out very different than it is today. And it has certainly come a very long way to get where it is. But has the trip been worth it? Is this game everything that the hype has played out to be? Well, let's find out, shall we? This game is arguably the biggest game of this generation. I've played all the sandbox games, all the Grand Theft Auto games, all the clones, and I've beaten all of them. And not all of them are created equal. But regardless of what I have played, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a whole different badass of a game. From the opening sequence to the first hours of the game, you're going to feel a sense of intrigue that most recent games notably lack. It does a very good job of introducing each of the three main protagonists, and it gives you a good background of each one individually. And I really appreciate that, because how you can have a connection to the character if you don't understand where they come from? You constantly have a sense of curiosity of what's going on, and it keeps you really hooked. You really want to know what the characters are doing at all times. And the story is very well written. I won't spoil anything for anybody because it's amazing, but it's just very well done. It's not over the top. It's just in its own kind of world. It's so well written and so well acted that you're going to find yourself just listening to people talking. And this certainly improves over all the past games, especially Grand Theft Auto 4. Another notable improvement is how sharp and funny the story is. Unlike Grand Theft Auto 4, this game actually has the Grand Theft Auto humor, and it's certainly not lacking at all. They did an excellent job at satiring, America and what it is, and just moments like that, especially from the radio when it decides to, hit on those topics, and it really takes a stab, and you're just going to find yourself nodding at it. You really get a sense that this world never gets boring, because they packed so much content into it. Now the graphics, all I can say is wow. Rockstar really outdid themselves here. To be honest, other games have done the graphics a lot better than this, but you have to take the scope of the game. The sense of realism and polish considering the scope of the game is just mind-boggling. This is just one hell of a monster of a game, yet so delicately beautiful. To the shimmer of the glass, to the glistening of the beaches, to even how the glass shatters when you crash your car. It all just has an astounding amount of detail. Even how your clothes wrinkle when you're walking, the explosions, the lighting, it's just all a wow factor. There is just a lot of little small details that I can really appreciate as a gamer. Even as you run for a long time, you start to perspirate and the sweat shows through your clothes. The only flaw I found in this is some of the NPCs just look really pixelated. But it's still a vast improvement over Grand Theft Auto 4. It's a lot sharper, a lot more detailed, and a lot more fluid. The graphics really just give it that tone that it needs. It really helps bring the city to life, and it really helps make the world feel really living. And you almost get a sense of remorse when you're killing people. I did say almost. Moving on to the music and sound. This is a Grand Theft Auto game, so of course the music is going to be on the ball and superb. The vast diversity of the genres in the game is always a welcome feature. From rap to R&B to classic rock to alternative, it's all here. Everyone's going to find something that they like to listen to. The only thing I can say is that I'm a new rock fan. I love the classic rock, but I also love my new rock. And there's not much here of that type of music. That would have been overall fine if it had a custom soundtrack feature. And surprisingly, no, it doesn't. It does not accommodate to you maybe not liking the music in the game. And in the digital age, this is almost an unforgiving thing not to have. Why not put it in? It could have easily been there. But I can forgive this because there is still a lot of cool music in the game. But I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, being disappointed about this feature being left out. There are people actually signing petitions right now as I speak to try to get the feature added in the game. I would never go that far. I think the game is perfect the way it is. It's just a drag not to have the custom soundtrack feature. But I will soon forget that on my murderous rampage. The commentary on the radio is also expanded upon, and that I find myself listening to the DJ on the radio all the time. It's always interesting to hear what it has to say. Maybe it's taking a pot shot at modern day shooters. It could just be, satiring America and, all that kind of stuff. Either way, it's always humorous and fun to just listen in on this. Overall, the music and sound is just, on par with Grand Theft Auto 4. But what sets this apart from anything in the past games is the dynamic background sound. Just walking around the city or maybe a car passing, you can hear recognizable tunes. Even going to the strip club, you're going to hear R&B music from the 90s. You're going to hear Fergie, you're going to hear Britney Spears. Maybe it's just something I appreciate, but this alone, the dynamic sound, really sets it apart from the rest of the games. Because in the digital age, we don't have many games that have horrible sound anymore. But Rockstar did an amazing job immersing you in this world with the sound. The ambient sounds to the people chattering, it's all just amazing to me. You can really tell the effort that went into it. And all of it makes you feel like you're a part of this world. No, it makes you feel like you're in the world. The only mark against this I can give it is possibly that sometimes the sound is really soft, and you may have to turn up your television set. Also, possibly, if you do not have a surround sound system, this may even make you want to buy one. Now, let's move on to the meat of the game, the gameplay. And it's another wow factor for me. This game improves upon every single aspect from Grand Theft Auto 4, and probably all of its predecessors. The shooting has been refined, and now it plays similar to Max Payne. The cover system and snap targeting system has also been refined, and now that you don't feel like it's snapping where you don't want it to be. The hand-to-hand combat is also vastly improved with the counter system. It's no sleeping dogs, but it gets the job done perfectly for what it is. The driving has a slight learning curve, but come on, it's Grand Theft Auto. The GTA physics, it's going to take some time to get used to. It does, however, feel a lot more arcadey than the last iteration. And to me, I actually enjoy that. Of course, there has been mixed opinions about the driving. Some don't like it, some love it. And it really just depends on you. Even the running and the climbing gets an overhaul in this game. And I welcome the stealth elements to the game. They don't feel like an afterthought. They feel like they were put in and they were adjusted very well. The ambition of Grand Theft Auto 5 is evident, but it shows no signs of slowing down. The switching of characters is the most notable innovation to this iteration. This is a first for the Grand Theft Auto series and it's executed flawlessly. You just hold down a single button and switch to the most relevant character at the moment. The camera then zooms out to the top view of the map, and this looks very, very cool. And then it pans to the next character, and zooms back in on this location. What really blew my mind about this feature is, when you go to the character, it looks like they were just resuming their life. It looks like they were having their own life. And you can find them doing the most interesting things. Especially some of the insane things that you find Trevor doing. But I won't spoil it for anybody, you're just going to have to find out on your own. Even when you quit a game and then load it back up, he's going to be doing something different. He may be in a whole different spot than he was before. It just makes you feel like as you were gone from the game, that they were doing their own life. And it makes it really immersive to me. It certainly leaps and bounds above Grand Theft Auto 4. The game is just all about fun. Whether it's running over a mugger, playing golf, doing water sports, smoking weed, getting your hair cut, customizing your car, or just plain creating mayhem, you are never going to run out of things to do. The variety of side missions and activities is where it separates it from any other sandbox game. You can even download an app for your smartphone to help train your dog, or customize your car. Even the missions are fun and it never feels like it's a chore. The addition of a mission checkpoint system just adds to the fun. Because unlike its predecessor, Grand Theft Auto 5 does not force you to repeat a mission from the start. So you'll never find yourself driving all the way across the map just to get to the mission again. Simply put, you continue where you left off. Overall, the possibilities are really endless for this game. With the age of DLC and episodic content, you will never get tired of this game. I can only imagine what they plan on releasing. And also the release of Grand Theft Auto Online coming October 1st, this game is just going to be in my PS3 for months on end. And I will be doing a review of Grand Theft Auto Online. I'm just waiting for its release and enough time to spend with it. To summarize, this game is arguably the best game ever made to some people. I'd say it has a strong contender for Game of the Year, maybe even Game of the Generation. To be honest, before this game was released, I thought it was just going to be a ton of hype, and just very similar to Grand Theft Auto 4. But after spending hours with this game, it's quite clear that this game is better than any past iteration of it. You will pour hours into this game. The story alone is going to be 25 hours long, and that's not counting side activities like golf. The game really does deserve a score of 10, and that's just what I'm going to give it. It deserves a 10 and that's what it gets. It actually is everything it said it was. To describe it best, it's a highly detailed, beautiful game covered in blood. This has been a Jensen's Game Review. If you like this video and you like the content I put out, please subscribe if you haven't already did so, and please leave comments and please like. This is a channel brought to you by a gamer for gamers, and I will keep bringing content. So thank you for watching. Now go play Grand Theft Auto 5.